Greed is more dangerous than lust, attachment, and anger. A spiritual reflection. Inspired by Osho. Among the many poisons that burn the human mind from within, spiritual masters have long spoken of four primary shadows: lust, attachment, anger, and greed. Lust clouds clarity, attachment binds the heart, anger burns peace, and each is a chain. But one chain, according to Osho, runs deeper, spreads wider, and damages more subtly than the rest. That chain is greed. Greed is not as loud as anger, nor as visible as lust. It moves silently, sweetly, promising more and more. A well that never fills. Osho often said,
"Greed has no fulfillment, even death arrives and greed still whispers more."
Why then is greed more dangerous than lust, attachment, and anger? Let us slowly explore this through Osho's perspectives, anecdotes he used, and real-world reflections. Lust ends with fulfillment. Greed begins after fulfillment. Osho frequently explained that lust is bodily, biological, and once the desire is consumed, there is natural relaxation. It occupies the mind for a time, then dissolves. A man desires a woman, or a woman desires a man. The body calls, the body responds, and the tension releases. Lust may be intense, may even become obsessive, but its energy is temporary. It is nature's way of survival and reproduction, not a permanent prison. Greed, however, is hunger without a stomach. Osho shared the example of a rich man who spends his whole life collecting wealth, gold, land, thinking happiness will come when he has enough. But enough never arrives. If he earns 1 crore, he begins dreaming of 10. If he reaches 10, his mind moves toward 100. Lust ends, greed multiplies. It is a fire that does not consume objects. It consumes the person holding the objects. Attachment binds to something. Greed binds to everything. Attachment ties you to a person, place, or experience. You cling to what gives comfort and resist its loss. But this too is limited. You cling to someone specific or something specific. Greed, though, has no direction. It wants all that exists, and after that, it wants more than all. Osho narrated stories of emperors who conquered lands not because they needed them, but because their ego needed expansion. Alexander conquered half the world and was still restless. When he met a naked mystic sitting by a river, Alexander was disturbed, because here sat a man who owned nothing, yet looked wealthier than the king of kings.
Attachment says, "This is mine." Greed says, "Everything should be mine."
Which one is more dangerous? Attachment is a cage with one door. Greed is a cage without doors. 3. Anger burns, like a storm. Greed, like a hidden cancer. Anger is fiery, explosive, visible. When one is angry, even outsiders can see the flames. It harms, no doubt, but it also exhausts quickly. Like lightning, it strikes, then disappears. After anger, there is guilt, exhaustion, even clarity. Greed is cold fire. No smoke, no crackle, no noise. One can be greedy while smiling. Greed doesn't create disturbance. It creates emptiness. Anger is a known enemy. Greed is an invisible one. Osho used to say,
"Anger is momentary insanity, greed is lifetime insanity."
An angry person might break a glass, shout, regret, and moments later return to normal. A greedy person may act calm, polite, compassionate, yet inside he calculates every gesture, every word, every relationship for benefit. Greed is more intelligent, more strategic, more deceptive, and therefore more dangerous. 4. Greed exploits others. Lust and anger consume only you. Lust involves 2. Anger affects 2. But greed needs a world to exploit. A lustful man may disturb a life. An angry man may hurt someone, but a greedy man can drain nations, cultures, economies. Priests who hoard religion, businessmen who hoard wealth, leaders who hoard power in the name of service. Osho often criticized such structures. Where lust is personal, greed is political. Osho mentioned the example of King Midas, whose touch turned everything into gold, even food and his own daughter. This myth is not about physical gold, but about greed's blindness. Greed kills joy, relationships, beauty, until one is surrounded only by dead wealth. One sinner harms. A greedy sinner spreads suffering like a pandemic. Lust seeks pleasure. Attachment seeks security. Anger seeks release. Greed seeks superiority. Greed needs others to measure itself. More money than him. Better house than her. Bigger name than all. Osho said,
Greed is not desire for things, it is desire to stand taller than others.
And because others exist, competition exists. As long as the world exists, comparison exists. Thus, greed creates permanent restlessness. Even if you become the richest person alive, you will fear losing rank. You will still compare yourself to history, to future threats, to imaginary rivals. Lust gives momentary joy. Greed gives lifelong insecurity. 6. Greed weakens the soul. It replaces being with having. Spirituality is the journey from having, being. Greed reverses it. It makes a person believe, I am what I own. Without things, I am nobody.
Osho often laughed at this illusion. When a rich man dies, nothing goes with him. Yet during life, he held his wealth like a miser clutches breath.
He forgot to live.
In one discourse, Osho described a businessman who kept collecting diamonds while his health failed, relationships decayed, and inner peace vanished. Finally, on his deathbed, he was clutching diamonds under his pillow, even then afraid someone may steal them. What tragedy, to die rich but never live rich.
Greed doesn't just take money, it takes life. Lust may exhaust the body, anger may disturb the mind, attachment may limit freedom, but greed drains the soul. 7. Greed makes spirituality impossible.
To enter spirituality, one must let go. One must surrender ego, identity, ambition. Greed is the ego's strongest soldier. Greed whispers,
Spirituality can wait. Success first, more first. A man can fall into love despite lust. He can seek forgiveness despite anger. He can detach through awareness. But a greedy mind cannot meditate, because meditation demands emptiness. A greedy mind is crowded with desires, plans, calculations.
Osho explained that meditation is not attaining something, it is dropping everything. Greed, however, wants to attain even God. It wants enlightenment like a trophy. Such a seeker remains seeker forever.
King Midas, all that becomes gold becomes dead. Greed kills life. Alexander and the mystic, power and wealth cannot create inner richness. The businessman with diamonds, greed makes one poor in living, rich only in dying. Buddha, leaving the palace. Renunciation wasn't against luxury, it was against greed. These examples appear throughout Osho's discourses, not as historical proof alone, but as mirrors for the modern mind. We live in palaces of ambition, collect digital diamonds, followers, money, cars, titles, yet feel hollow inside. Greed gives us everything except peace.
Osho never said destroy desire. He said become aware of desire. Greed dissolves not by force, but by understanding. Sit silently, watch thoughts of wanting arise like clouds. Do not obey them, do not suppress them, just witness. Awareness burns greed the way sunlight melts ice. A flower, a cup of tea, a morning breeze. Joy does not require possession. Greed weakens every time we enjoy without owning. If greed is hoarding, the antidote is flowing. Share, donate, gift, not as duty, but as celebration. The miser is afraid of loss, the giver trusts abundance. A greedy life counts numbers, money, status, achievements. A spiritual life tastes depth, silence, love, compassion. Shift from counting to living.
Greed is more dangerous than lust, attachment, and anger because lust comes and goes, anger burns and cools, attachment binds and can be understood, but greed never ends, never cools, never frees. Greed can wear the face of morality, ambition, religion, even spirituality. It is subtle, calm, polite, yet inside it is a black hole. Lust seeks pleasure. Anger seeks expression. Attachment seeks comfort. Greed seeks infinity and finds nothing.
Osho's message was simple. The real treasure is inner stillness, not outer accumulation. A person free from greed doesn't become poor. He becomes wealthy in a way the world cannot measure.